Ever met someone who talks endlessly about how real and honest they are, yet something about them just feels off? The most dishonest people often say the right words. The most honest people rarely say anything at all, they just live it. If someone keeps reminding you that you can trust them, that might be your first sign that you shouldn't. Fake people have patterns, specific phrases they repeat again and again. I'm always honest. You can trust me. I've got your back. Sound familiar? These aren't random sentences. They're signals. Scripted lines people use when the image they want to project doesn't match who they actually are. Once you learn to notice these phrases, you'll start spotting inauthenticity almost instantly. Here's the truth. Genuine people don't announce their character. They don't proclaim their honesty. They don't declare loyalty. They demonstrate it quietly, consistently, through behavior over time. But fake people, they replace action with declaration. They say what you want to hear, creating an impression before their behavior has the chance to expose them. Marcus Aurelius said it best. Watch what people do, not what they say. Words deceive. Actions reveal. He understood that certain phrases repeat over and over, especially from people performing a character they don't actually possess. This isn't cynicism, it's wisdom today. We're breaking down 9 specific phrases. Fake people always say statements that reveal the gap between their words and their actual intentions. This isn't about becoming paranoid. It's about recognizing patterns that protect your peace. Phrase number 6 is the biggest red flag. On the surface, it sounds comforting. In reality, it often signals they're about to betray the very trust they're claiming to uphold. By the end of this video, you'll recognize these phrases instantly, understand what they truly mean, and protect yourself through awareness, not suspicion. Subscribe for Stoic, wisdom that sharpens your judgment without turning you cynical. Fake people always say, I'm always honest. I never lie. Here's the tell. People who are truly honest don't need to say it. Their consistency says it for them. You know they're honest because you've watched them be honest over time, in small moments, in difficult situations where lying would be easier. But fake people declare it constantly. I'm the most honest person you'll ever meet. You can always count on me to tell the truth. And the more they repeat it, the less true it usually is, because honest people are too busy practicing honesty to perform it. Dishonest people talk about honesty to hide the gap. I saw this firsthand with someone who made honesty their entire identity. Every conversation included some proclamation about being real. Within just a few meetings, they positioned themselves as the truthful one, the person who tells it like it is. At first it felt refreshing. Finally, someone direct. But over time, small lies surfaced. Said they'd show up, didn't. Claimed they accomplished something, hadn't. Told different versions of the same story to different people. Nothing dramatic at first, just constant dishonesty in small things, yet always paired with their loud declarations of being real. That's when it clicked. The proclamations weren't confidence, they were compensation. Their words created an image their actions couldn't support. Here's the pattern. Truly honest people demonstrate honesty when it costs them something, when truth is inconvenient, when lying would be easier, but they choose integrity anyway. They do this quietly, consistently, without announcement. People who declare their honesty are often laying the groundwork for deception, either already lying and covering their tracks or planning to lie later and establishing a false reputation first. the declaration itself becomes the manipulation. We ended the previous section with one key truth. Real honesty is shown through consistent action, not constant self-promotion. And that theme continues here. Because fake people don't just claim honesty, they claim uniqueness too. Epictetus taught a simple principle. Don't tell people who you are. Show them. Marcus Aurelius lived the same way. He never proclaimed his virtues. He simply practiced them daily. That's the difference. Character demonstrated, not declared. So when someone repeatedly tells you how honest they are, especially when you never asked, pay close attention to what they do. Genuine honesty speaks through behavior. Only performed honesty requires constant announcements. When honesty is real, it's quiet. When it's fake, it's loud. But now we move to the second phrase, one that reveals a different kind of performance. Fake people always say, I'm not like other people. I'm different. Everyone else is fake, but I'm real. Most people don't care, but I do. They frame themselves as the lone authentic person in a world full of pretenders, as if they're the single exception in a sea of phoniness. It sounds noble, even refreshing at first. But this phrase is pure performance. Because truly, different people don't feel the need to announce their uniqueness. They don't need to draw comparisons, don't need to distance themselves from everyone else. Their difference becomes visible naturally through consistent choices, values, and actions over time. You recognize they're different because they are, not because they tell you they are. Fake people, however, need the declaration first. They need you to see them as special before their behavior inevitably proves otherwise. So they set up a contrast. Everyone else is fake. I'm real. They don't care. I do. They cast themselves as the moral exception surrounded by flawed people. I watched someone at work do this constantly. Every conversation circled back to the same theme. Most people here don't care about the work, but I actually do. Everyone else plays politics. I'm genuine. People here are fake. I'm the only real one. At first, it sounded insightful, like they had noticed something others missed. I believed them for a while. Their confidence made it seem like they truly stood apart from the office politics surrounding them. But over the next months, something became painfully clear. They did everything they complained about. They gossiped just as much as anyone. They played politics constantly. They took credit for team efforts. They threw people under the bus when it benefited them. Everything they accused others of being, they were, too. The only difference: they announced they were different before their behavior proved the opposite. The declaration created an illusion of authenticity that reality couldn't sustain. Here's what genuinely different people actually do. They live their values quietly, consistently. They don't boast about being better, truer, or more real than others. They simply are who they say they aren't. Over time, others notice. This person actually cares. This person actually shows up. This person actually lives differently. Their difference is demonstrated, not declared. Fake people declare difference because they know their actions won't prove it. The announcement becomes the performance, a shield to protect them from accountability before the truth exposes them. Ironically, the declaration itself becomes the evidence that they aren't different at all. Marcus Aurelius never compared himself to others or claimed superiority. He simply lived by his principles. That's genuine difference, quiet, steady, and unannounced. Just like we saw in the previous section, when someone loudly insists they're different from everyone else. It's often a sign they're exactly the same, just more vocal about denying it. And if you've ever met a person who constantly claimed they were real and unlike everyone else, only to realize they behaved just like those they criticized, you already understand this pattern. Actions always speak louder than dramatic declarations. If you've experienced this, share it below. Your story might help someone else spot the signs before they invest their trust in the wrong person now. This next phrase shifts from identity to promises. Phrase 3. Fake people always say, "I promise." Fake people use "I promise" like punctuation, big commitments, tiny favors, future plans, emotional support. It doesn't matter. The words come fast, frequent, and effortlessly. "I promise I'll be there. I promise I'll help. I promise we'll do that soon." It feels warm, reassuring, even loyal in the moment. But these verbal commitments rarely turn into real commitments. Meanwhile, genuinely reliable people treat promises differently. They understand that a promise carries weight. They don't throw around commitments casually just to sound supportive. When they give their word, it means something. Their yes actually means yes. Their agreement is backed by follow-through, not performance. Now watch what happens with people who promise everything. The words cost them nothing. They provide instant validation, making them appear dependable without requiring actual dependability. The promise creates temporary satisfaction. Everyone feels good in the moment, while responsibility is pushed into the future. And when that future arrives, the follow-through rarely comes. I once had a friend who lived entirely on promises. Every conversation ended the same way. "I'll call you this week. We should hang out soon. I'll help you with that. I'll definitely show up to your event." At first, it felt comforting, like having someone who cared, someone who genuinely wanted to be present. The list of verbal commitments kept growing, but reality told a different story. Promised a call, silence. Promised to help with something that mattered, forgot completely. Promised to attend an event we'd talked about for weeks, cancelled last minute with a vague excuse. Promise after promise broke. Yet every new conversation came with fresh promises. "I'll do better next time. I really mean it this time." The words continued. The actions didn't. During the same period, I noticed something about other people, the ones who rarely promised anything. They just showed up. They didn't announce they'd help. They helped. They didn't promise to call. They called. Their reliability existed in action, not in declaration. It's an inverse pattern. People who make heavy promises deliver lightly. People who promise lightly deliver heavily. Real commitment doesn't need packaging or dramatic phrasing. It appears quietly and follows through. Performed commitment creates emotional comfort up front, then disappears when action is required. Seneca understood this clearly. Better to act without promising than promise without acting. Marcus Aurelius rarely made promises. He simply did what needed to be done. His consistency was his word. His actions were his commitment. So when someone promises everything easily, track their follow-through rate carefully. The ratio is almost always inverted. The more they say, the less they do. True reliability operates quietly. It's proven through presence, not proclamations. Next phrase, preview the. Fourth phrase reveals another pattern. False support. Fake people constantly say things like, "I'm here for you. You can count on me. Reach out anytime." But only when you don't actually need anything, because saying it costs nothing. showing up does. And from promises, we move to another kind of performance. The performance of being there. People who are genuinely dependable don't need to say they'll show up, they simply do. No announcements, no self-promotion. Their presence speaks for them. While words alone are nothing more than glossy advertising banners. But watch what happens when you actually need the people who always say, just reach out anytime. You reach out, silence. You try again. Vague responses. They're busy now. They have their own things going on. They apologize because this time they really can't help. All those offers of support evaporate the moment support comes with a cost. I once had a colleague who embodied this perfectly. Every conversation with him ended in some version of, I'm always here if you need anything. My door is always open. Don't hesitate to ask. He built a reputation as a caring, supportive teammate, someone who was always available. But then I hit a genuinely difficult period. Work became complicated, and I finally needed the help he had offered so many times. I reached out, nothing. I followed up. He said he was overwhelmed, had too much on his plate, and maybe could help later. The support that was supposedly always available disappeared the moment it required effort. His offers were purely performative, freely given when they cost nothing, withdrawn instantly when they required action. Meanwhile, another teammate, someone who never said any of this, just showed up. He didn't talk about helping. He helped. He didn't promise to be there. He was there. He didn't need recognition for being a supportive person. He simply acted. No declarations, no branding, just presence when it mattered. The gap between verbal support and real support, people who constantly say they're therefore you often aren't. People who never say anything often are. Real support doesn't market itself. It doesn't seek praise, credit, or attention. It appears quietly when your life is actually falling apart. Performed support is all image selling, the feeling of caring while providing nothing concrete. It's the movie poster of a film that never gets made. Epictetus was clear. Action reveals character, not words about action. Marcus Aurelius helped people constantly, yet rarely talked about it. His support existed in what he did, not what he said he'd do. If someone frequently offers support that you've never had to rely on, let time be the test. When you finally reach out, do they actually show up? Most of the time, the answer is no. Real support doesn't announce itself. It doesn't need an introduction. It simply stands beside you when your life is shaking. Continuing from the previous point, about how real support is shown through actions, not promises, we move into another subtle behavior, intimacy that is performed rather than earned. True closeness doesn't begin with an announcement. It forms naturally, over time, between people who have proven themselves trustworthy through actions, not words. I saw this play out clearly a few years ago in a friend group. A new person joined, and from the very first gatherings, they began sharing deeply personal stories. Every confession came with the same scripted preface. I don't usually tell people this. This is something I normally keep private. But I feel like I can trust you. It made each of us feel chosen, like we were uniquely trusted. Like we were being invited into a deeper layer of their life because we were special. But one night, the group got together and the conversation shifted toward this person. Everyone began comparing stories. Wait, they told you that too. And they said they rarely share it. It turned out every single person had heard the exact same stories. accompanied by the same "I rarely share this" preface. None of it was private. None of it was exclusive. The intimacy was manufactured. This wasn't genuine vulnerability. It was a manipulation tactic designed to create the illusion of a special bond with each individual, making everyone think they had a unique connection, when in reality, the same script was being broadcast to the entire circle. People who are truly private don't declare their privacy. They don't open conversations with, "I rarely tell anyone this." They simply share appropriately when trust has formed organically. No theatrics, no verbal spells to create instant closeness, just mutual vulnerability built slowly and intentionally by contrast. People who repeatedly say they rarely share things are often the ones who share everything with everyone. The disclaimer is part of the manipulation. It creates a subtle obligation. They trusted you first, so now you owe them trust in return. And when you eventually confide in them, your secrets are passed along to shared with others, using the same emotional framing and the same manufactured sense of exclusivity. Marcus Aurelius spoke carefully and shared thoughtfully. He never used vulnerability to build a personal brand or fast-track emotional closeness. Seneca wrote that true discretion doesn't advertise itself. It protects what matters without declaring that it is protecting it. So when you hear this phrase early in a relationship, pay attention. Chances are you're not the exception. You're simply the next audience. Their secrets aren't real secrets. Your secrets won't be safe. Artificial intimacy always reveals itself through its performance, not its substance. At first, I ignored that nagging feeling. Why did they keep saying it? If it were true, wouldn't it simply be true? Wouldn't their actions demonstrate it without constant verbal reinforcement? I pushed the doubt aside and focused on building the business together. Months later, the truth hit hard. They had been working against my interests the entire time, making side deals, sharing confidential information with competitors, doing exactly what they had repeatedly promised they would never do. Everything they had claimed they were not, they were. Those constant declarations weren't reassurance, they were red flags, covering behavior that contradicted every word. Looking back at truly trustworthy people in my life, business partners, close friends, family members who have proven themselves over decades, not one of them ever said this phrase, not once. Their reliability showed in what they did consistently, how they handled sensitive information, the choices they made when no one was watching. Demonstration without declaration. Epictetus understood this. Trustworthiness is demonstrated, never declared. People worthy of trust never demand it. They earn it through consistent, reliable behavior. Marcus Aurelius kept confidences, protected others, and never announced it. He simply acted. Someone who tells you, unprompted, that you can trust them, especially early in a relationship, is not offering reassurance. They are issuing a warning. Trustworthy people show you through actions. Untrustworthy people tell you through words, often before their actions contradict those words. Early, unprompted declarations of trust reveal unreliability. Seventh phrase, deflecting accountability. This phrase emerges after boundaries have been crossed. I was just trying to help. My intentions were good. I thought I was being helpful. These statements appear after they have done something harmful, something unrequested, or something that made the situation worse. And suddenly, the phrase shifts the blame. You become the problem for being upset, while they appear as the misunderstood helper, deflecting all accountability. Genuine help respects boundaries first. It asks before acting, listens to what is actually needed, stops when told to stop, and centers the person being helped, not the person doing the helping. And when well-intentioned help accidentally causes harm, a real apology includes acknowledgement of the impact and an adjustment of behavior, a defensive phrase that frames your objection as wrong. I had a family member who did this for years, constantly meddling in decisions that weren't theirs to make, offering unsolicited career advice, calling my contacts without asking, sharing private information with relatives I hadn't told. Every action crossed clear boundaries, complicating situations rather than improving them. When I confronted them, asking specifically for them to stop interfering, to let me handle my own affairs, they responded, "I was just trying to help," with a hurt tone, as if I were ungrateful and they were the victim. I felt guilty for setting a simple boundary. The pattern continued. They kept doing exactly what they were asked not to do. Each time I called them out, the same phrase appeared. "I was just trying to help. I had your best interests at heart. I thought I was being supportive." They never considered whether their help was wanted, whether it was actually helpful, or whether good intentions could excuse harmful impact. The phrase became a shield, deflecting accountability for repeatedly violating boundaries. Real help looks nothing like this. Real help asks what is needed, respects a no as a complete answer, adjusts when told something isn't helpful, and prioritizes impact over intention. It does not weaponize good intentions to avoid responsibility, following the patterns of boundary violations and false assurances. The next warning shows up in those who create drama while denying it. Remember, real help never causes harm. Help that consistently harms is not help, it's control disguised as care. Marcus Aurelius wrote clearly, "True help serves the person being helped, not the helper's need to feel helpful." If your helping makes them worse off, you are not helping. Seneca also understood this. Help begins with listening, not with assuming you know better. When someone uses the phrase, "I was just trying to help," after crossing a boundary, it is not an apology. It is a defense mechanism, not an acknowledgement. It shifts the focus from their harmful actions to the idea of their good intentions, deflecting accountability. Genuine helpers don't need this phrase. They actually help, actually listen, and respect boundaries while helping. Help that violates boundaries is not help at all. Eighth phrase, creating drama while denying it. This phrase reveals pure projection. I hate drama. I stay away from drama. I don't do drama. I just want peace. They constantly declare it, making it a core part of their personality. The drama-free person, the one who rises above conflict. Yet, in reality, they are at the center of nearly every conflict-stirring situations, creating problems, then stepping back as if they had nothing to do with it. People who genuinely avoid drama never talk about it. They live quietly, don't participate in conflicts, don't spread information that causes problems, and don't involve themselves in other people's business. Their absence from drama speaks clearly enough. In the office, this became crystal clear. A co-worker repeated this phrase multiple times a day, making it their identifier. I really hate drama. That's why I stay out of everything. I'm just here to do my work and go home. At first, they seemed mature, refreshingly detached from office politics. A person who had found peace in a chaotic environment, but over time, a pattern emerged. Every workplace conflict somehow involved them. Every rumor could be traced back to conversations with them. Every division between people deepened after they spoke to both sides. They told person A what person B supposedly said, then told person B what person A supposedly said, often exaggerating or adding details that weren't real. Conflicts erupted. They would stand back and observe, then declare to anyone who would listen how much they hated all the drama. They were not innocent bystanders, they were the architects of the chaos, creating situations, feeding conflicts, and then using the phrase, "I hate drama," as a cover. Compare this to people who genuinely avoided conflict in the same office. You never heard them say anything about hating drama. They didn't participate, didn't spread information, didn't take sides, and didn't fuel conflicts. They simply stayed neutral and peaceful. Their drama-free existence was demonstrated through their actions, not words. Epictetus taught a simple truth. Peace is created through peaceful action, not through declaring a preference for peace. Marcus maintained tranquility by avoiding chaos, not by talking about avoiding it. Seneca's wisdom is clear. Those who truly avoid conflict simply don't participate. Rather than proclaiming it, following the patterns of drama and false projection, the final phrase reveals loyalty that only exists in words. In the previous examples, we saw how some people announce constantly how much they hate drama, yet are often the very source of it. Similarly, loyalty can be loudly proclaimed, but what really matters is whether it holds up under pressure. The ninth and final phrase exposes conditional loyalty. I've got your back. Always got your back. We're in this together. I'll stand with you no matter what. These words sound solid, reassuring, and make you feel like you have a real Alison one who will be there when things get difficult. It's easy to say loyalty when it costs nothing, when standing with someone carries no real risk. The question is, what happens when loyalty demands sacrifice? What happens when there's a social cost, professional risk, or personal inconvenience? That's when you discover whether those declarations were genuine or merely performance. I had a friend who constantly repeated these phrases throughout our friendship. Every challenge that came up was met with, "Got your back. You can count on me. We're ride or die." It felt like a solid foundation, building a sense of mutual support. Words created that impression effectively. They made you believe this was someone you could rely on when life got hard. Then a situation arose at work where someone had to speak honestly about what happened. Nothing dramatic, just reporting events we both witnessed. It would cost this friend a small measure of social capital, make them slightly uncomfortable with certain people. It wasn't career-ending, it wasn't friendship-destroying, just mildly inconvenient to stand with the truth, to have my back as they had always said. The critical moment arrived. My friend stayed silent. Worse than silent, they sided with the easier narrative, the version that cost them nothing. They protected their comfort, leaving me standing alone with the truth while they chose convenience over integrity. All those years of declarations, all those promises about having my back, meant absolutely nothing when tested. When loyalty required even the smallest sacrifice, the words were hollow. Meanwhile, someone else who had never proclaimed loyalty stood up. It cost them something, too, yet they did it anyway. They didn't need to announce their allegiance in advance. They demonstrated it through action when it mattered most. Their support existed in the action itself, not in the promise of action that never came. This shows the truth clearly. Easy times do not reveal loyalty. Hard times do. Standing with someone when it costs nothing is simple. Anyone can do that. Standing with someone when it costs something, that is when the reality of loyalty appears. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. True friendship is revealed in adversity, not advantage. Seneca's wisdom aligns. A real friend shows up when friendship comes with a price and they pay it anyway. Epictetus knew that loyalty is demonstrated through sacrifice, never through repeated declarations. Frequent promises of loyalty without cost should always be met with caution. They almost always fail the test. Real loyalty operates quietly. It shows up when showing up is hard, and does so anyway. So now we've walked through the 9 phrases that reveal the gap between words and character. 1. Constant honesty. Declarations. 2. Claims of being different from everyone else. 3. Easy promises about everything. 4. Offering support that vanishes. 5. Sharing fake secrets with everyone. 6. Demanding trust. UNPROMPTED. 7. Justifying harm as help. 8. Hating drama while creating it. 9. Promising loyalty that disappears when it costs something. Recognizing these phrases gives you the ability to discern character without becoming cynical, to protect yourself while remaining aware. As a reminder, subscribe to keep developing discernment through Stoic wisdom, learning to see the truth behind words without letting suspicion take over. Words can sound convincing, but the moment of truth always reveals what is real. Watch actions, observe behavior, and remember, loyalty, trust, and integrity are proven, not proclaimed.